Okay folks, this is another challenging one. We've done heaps of these. Oh, the sun's out again, still out, and the trees are blowing in the wind. Okay, get back to the progie. Okay, we're getting back to this progie. I think fuck that. Okay, let's see what this is. It is, you've probably guessed it, it's a can. It's one of these highly caffeinated things called Bang. It's really, really caffeinated. I do love my caffeine drinks. I've got my own reasons why I drink this shit like it's going out of style. I've got my reasons I can't mention. It's personal, but I do have a good reason to do it. It is a good cause that I'm doing this. You may not know why or understand. Otherwise, I'd treat it like any other vice, in moderation or not at all. Like, I don't drink, I don't drug, I don't gamble or do any of that shit. But I do love my caffeine. For some reason, I've taken it on that, and that looks really nice. That's come up a treat. It's called Bang. It's an interesting name. Sounds like bang as in bang it off on the photocopier. I'm going to try and make this into something real. Normally we make it into a movement piece, but I do like the Bang logo, and I'm thinking maybe cutting it down there. It's going to be a tricky one, folks. But basically, I do have my personal reasons why I consume loads of this caffeine often in the form of Bang caffeinated drinks. Sometimes in this world, you've got to think outside the box. You've got to think differently, and I've got my out-of-box reason why I'm drinking this shit like I'm drinking it. I'm an out-of-box thinker. I try to think differently to normal conventions, and this caffeine binging is indeed one of the things that I consider necessary in my life at this stage. Yeah, that looks interesting, but we've got to move it across and down a bit, and up that way and down that way. Make it into a movement piece, I do think. I do think we're going to just do that. But basically, yeah, I just have my personal reasons why I do like to binge on caffeine. Just going to put that in there and slide it around. yeah, not what I'm after. I actually wonder if maybe I should use that as my master copy. Don't know, folks. That didn't turn out looking too good. Make it 141.4, and maybe the colour looks all right in that. We're on dot matrix, it's probably why it looks a little bit dark. A lot of colours aren't as colourful. I think a lot of nerds and geeks are also often caffeine heads as well, a lot of the time. So a lot of nerds and geeks like to throw what's known as all-nighters, or to take all-nighters, work through the night into the early hours of the morning. And caffeine is like taking an all-nighter drink. It's the kind of drink that you have when you want to take an all-nighter, or pull an all-nighter, I think is the term that's used. To pull an all-nighter. And a lot of people, of course, rely on their coffee and energy drinks to keep them awake. It's a real culture when it comes to people who study, people at university especially, if I'm correct. That looks really quite interesting. It's not quite what I'm after. I'm going to try and make this into something good. I do like this one a bit better. I do think we could utilise that if we enlarge it out. Maybe just take a section and stretch it vertically and a little bit maybe horizontally. But yeah, I think it is a real nerd and geek type culture, or studying university student type of culture, where they just have to keep going and going and going. Look, folks, it's not healthy, it's not recommended. You don't want to have a heart attack, but I know it's a very common thing for studious people to binge on caffeine to get them through the exam or the night. I actually think I might do something. I think, yeah, we've only got the copy density. We haven't got much of it happening. I do think maybe, I was thinking maybe making a bit more on the blue end of the spectrum. We have to use this one though. I don't know how this is going to look. I think the effects of caffeine when it comes to staying awake tend to wear off after a while when a person really starts ripping into it. And that looks really quite nice, actually. Wondering where the centre of the job is actually going to be. Is it going to be there or there? That's a tricky one. We're going to run it like this. Tricky trying to work out where the centre of this job is going to be. That's why I often do the things I call switcheroos, where I switch the positioning of the pieces of paper around for a different effect, different arrangement. But this is indeed a common culture, subculture maybe, or do we just call it a culture? people just drink this shit to keep awake. Anyway, that's come up looking quite a treat. I think now we can call this demo. I think, or do we have to do a switcheroo? We do a switcheroo because I'm really concerned I'll get really angry and I'll feel this piece was spoiled by me not trying another option, as in the positioning of these pieces. So I just changed the position to make something different. This is the original idea I had for this. The original positioning idea as it is. Let's see how we go with this. Yeah, that looks good as well. I think now we can call this demo quits. Actually, I actually could see maybe one more image that we could do, or maybe not. I think we'll just call it quits.